morning. So, like every weekday morning, we will study another aspect of hello, this is Mani speaking. Today is an amazing lesson for all of us, and that is aphorism number 244, where money is guiding us, humbly persevere. Money says consistency and persistence need constant humility. As you pursue and continue, you're likely to get rubbed the wrong way. The natural desire is to defend yourself with righteousness, pride, or egotistic behavior. That will create energetic walls, which I find difficult to penetrate. If you wish to enjoy my persistent and consistent flow, lower your defenses and accept your flaws. Others accept you as you are, as you genuinely acknowledge, embrace, and accept all your shortcomings and flaws. However, when you do not acknowledge your inconsistencies and flaws, I find it difficult to reach out to you and flow through you. Money says, humbly accept who you are and be who you are. Your pretense creates a strong fence. Let me explain to you this. By the way, this is page number 401. So at times, when you feel small, incomplete, inadequate, or wronged, you don't like it. Nobody likes it, right? We don't like to be on the wrong side. We don't like to feel small. We almost always gravitate where you and everyone remains right, good enough, and liked by everyone. So whenever there is a possibility of feeling small or not good enough, we have two choices. Just accept the way it is. And the second choice is create strong defenses. So if you feel not good enough, you may portray as if you're super good. If you feel small, you portray big. If you feel inadequate, you portray adequacy. If you feel any shortcoming, you show excessive. And trying to defend yourself and showing defenses can mislead people, can backfire on you. And this is what happens. So, for example, for some reason, in a particular relationship or in a job or in a business, when you do not have enough funds, instead of acknowledging you do not have enough funds, at least to yourself or to some genuine people, we often portray as if there is enough. You often get taken for granted. People who might want to help you, promote you, or support you may not get encouraged at all. And money, if wants to come through them, will not be able to come. Your defenses, which are meant to protect you, goes against you. And that happens in several other aspects of life. People also have pride of endurance. I know so many people who often have a great pride that I could manage with minimum, with empty pockets. I can continue on and on and on without ever getting affected. I can handle with lean finances. I can handle neck to neck finances. When you have that kind of pride, obviously, you're not really open to comfortable phase of life. So money only says, be genuine, be authentic, acknowledge what you feel, how you feel, dare to be vulnerable and open up, because the defenses that you build will defend you against money's flow. If you create a wall, if you lock your doors to protect yourself, surely people will find it difficult to reach out to you. And so would money, because money is as human as us. So recognize how you defend yourself and why you defend. And do you really need to defend? What if you do not defend? And how would be the scenario if you do not defend yourself and acknowledge your vulnerability, acknowledge your smallness, inadequacies? Personally, as I started acknowledging my flaws, my vulnerabilities, my shortcomings, I've had many people who reached out to me to help, to support, and to go through the difficult and lean times. There was a time when I used to mark and portray that all is well, because that's what is shown, right? That's what you've been trained as. But I knew that somewhere things were not that good. And slowly I realized that people didn't really want to help. In fact, they didn't even think that I needed help because they thought I'm a superwoman. And that created further ripples and difficulties. Especially when you are in a long-term relationships, your close buddies, parents, or business associates. Well, the close ones will figure out your flaws, and you may feel a little small, inadequate, or incomplete. And that's when, instead of just letting them know what's the real situation and how you feel, when you portray something else, you're confusing them, because being so close, they know really what you feel, how you are, and what's happening to you. And slowly, they will start drifting away from you, or they will start responding to your portrayal rather than your authenticity. Why get into such games? Have courage. Courage to say, okay, right now, I'm not feeling up to the mark. I probably haven't been able to do what I thought I should be doing, and probably I went wrong. Just a small acknowledgement, and you can sail through. Shunning away, running away, prematurely withdrawing can be detrimental to you and your financial life, and in general, to your relationships as well. So open up and say, it's okay. I am today not up to the mark, or I've got little flaws. And so what? Everybody has it. Focus on your strength. Focus on what you have. Focus on who you are and all that you've done so far. There are always quite a few great things in each one of us. Acknowledge your flaws and yet focus on the best. And that's how you'll be able to persist and pursue to reap the benefits of investments you've made so far in relationships, in your profession, and in life in general. So that's a message for us. Slowly breathe in and breathe out. We're going to do some remedial statements. Continue breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. Breathe in prosperity consciousness. Breathe out lack consciousness. Breathe in prosperity consciousness. And breathe out the lack consciousness. Breathe in the courage to be authentic. Breathe out your pretense. Breathe in security. Breathe out your defenses. Slowly switch over to normal breathing. Now recite with me or after me. I solve my defenses. I dissolve my defenses. I resolve my defenses. I co-solve my defenses. I supersolve my defenses. I awaken my security. I awaken secure me. I solve my defenses. I dissolve my defenses. I resolve my defenses. I co-solve my defenses. I supersolve my defenses. I awaken security. I awaken the secure me. I solve my insecurity. I dissolve my insecurity. I resolve my insecurities. I co-solve my insecurities. I supersolve my insecurities. I awaken security. I awaken the secure me. I solve my insecurities. I dissolve my insecurities. I resolve my insecurities. I co-solve my insecurities. I supersolve my insecurities. I awaken securities. I awaken the secure me. I solve my fears. I dissolve my fears. I resolve my fears. I co-solve my fears. I supersolve my fears. I awaken courage. I awaken the courageous me. I solve my fears. I dissolve my fears. I resolve my fears. I co-solve my fears. I supersolve my fears. I awaken security. I awaken secure me. I solve myself. I dissolve myself. I resolve myself. I co-solve myself. I supersolve myself. I awaken myself. I awaken the awakened me. I solve myself. I dissolve myself. I resolve myself. I co-solve myself. I supersolve myself. I awaken myself. I awaken the awakened me. I solve myself. I dissolve myself. I resolve myself. I co-solve myself. I supersolve myself. I awaken myself. I awaken the awakened. I solve my shortcomings. I dissolve my shortcomings. I resolve my shortcomings. I supersolve my shortcomings. I awaken my strength. I awaken strong me. I solve my shortcomings. I dissolve my shortcomings. I resolve my shortcomings. I co-solve my shortcomings. I supersolve my shortcomings. I awaken the strength. I awaken the strong me. I solve my shortcomings. I dissolve my shortcomings. I resolve my shortcomings. I co-solve my shortcomings. I awaken the strength. I awaken the strong me. I solve my need to mask my shortcomings. I dissolve my need to mask my shortcomings. I resolve my need to mask my shortcomings. I co-solve my need to mask my shortcomings. I supersolve my need to mask my shortcomings. I awaken my need to acknowledge my shortcomings. I awaken all acknowledging me. I solve my need to mask my shortcomings. I dissolve my need to mask my shortcomings. I resolve my need to mask my shortcomings. I co-solve my need to mask my shortcomings. I awaken inner strength. I awaken the strong me. I solve my ego, pride, and righteousness. I dissolve my ego, pride, and righteousness. I dissolve my ego, pride, and righteousness. I co-solve my ego, pride, and righteousness. I awaken humility. I awaken the humble me. I solve my ego, pride, and righteousness. I dissolve my ego, pride, and righteousness. I resolve my ego, pride, and righteousness. I co-solve my ego, pride, and righteousness. I supersolve my ego, pride, and righteousness. I awaken humility. I awaken truly, genuinely humble me. I solve my ego, pride, and righteousness. I dissolve my ego, pride, and righteousness. I dissolve my ego, pride, and righteousness. I co-solve my ego, pride, and righteousness. I supersolve my ego, pride, and righteousness. I awaken humility. I awaken truly humble me. I solve my pretense. I dissolve my pretense. I resolve my pretense. I co-solve my pretense. I supersolve my pretense. I awaken authenticity. I awaken the authentic me. I solve my pretense. I dissolve my pretense. I dissolve my pretense. I co-solve my pretense. I supersolve my pretense. I awaken authenticity. I awaken the authentic me. I solve my need to mask my inadequacies. I dissolve my need to mask my inadequacies. I dissolve my need to mask my inadequacies. I co-solve my need to mask my inadequacies. I supersolve my need to mask my inadequacies. I awaken adequacies. I awaken the adequate me. I solve my need to mask my inadequacies. I dissolve my need to mask my inadequacies. I dissolve my need to mask my inadequacies. I co-solve my need to mask my inadequacies. I supersolve my need to mask my inadequacy. I awaken adequacy. I awaken the adequate me. I solve my need to mask my inadequacy. I dissolve my need to mask my adequacy. I dissolve my need to mask my inadequacy. I co-solve my need to mask my inadequacies. I supersolve my need to mask my inadequacies. I awaken adequacies. I awaken the adequate me. I solve my need to give up. I dissolve my need to give up and withdraw. I dissolve my need to give up and withdraw. I dissolve my need to give up, give in, and withdraw. I co-solve my need to give up, give in, and withdraw. I awaken persistence. I awaken the persistent me. I solve my need to give in, give up, and withdraw. I dissolve my need to give in, give up, and withdraw. I dissolve my need to give in, give up, and withdraw. I co-solve my need to give in, give up, and withdraw. I supersolve my need to give in, give up, and withdraw. I awaken persistence. I awaken the persistent me. Now, we are going to recite some of the reprogramming statements. Let's recite together. I peacefully progress and persist. I peacefully progress and prosper with humble persistence. 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 Today, when you go to bed, write in your journal the moments when you've been humbly persistent and how you've been rewarded for your humble persistence. Write those moments where you did not give up or give in. You continued, you pursued. Write the moments where you could demonstrate the courage to be your authentic self, the vulnerable self, and got so much of resistance from people around you. And as you keep recognizing, acknowledging, and being grateful to yourself for being humble, persistent, and courageous to be authentic, you will start expanding on these beautiful qualities. And that will attract more and more genuine prosperity. All the best. People who are listening to it on YouTube, and if you'd like to join regular daily recitations from Monday to Friday, from 7:30 to 8, may contact office because we discuss various topics and do recitation for prosperity consciousness. Contact the office and have a great day. Thank you.